Morning. Actually, it's just afternoon now. We've arrived at Oxenop train station, which is part of the Keighley Worth Valley Railway, where we're going to go for a ride on the train. We're rather early because at Ebden Bridge they lock the gates at 12 till 1 to stop people coming in early. Didn't work this morning because somebody arrived at 11:30, and unfortunately for them they were made to go out and wait till 1 o'clock. So we could have come earlier, but we weren't ready in time to catch the 11:35 train. So, and then suddenly we thought, oh gosh, we've got to get out before 12 o'clock, otherwise we can't get out till 1 o'clock because they lock the gates. And now this is the train station. Big timetable. Yeah, next train is 13:35, and get us back here at 14:50. So that's not bad. £27 for me and Sharon to go on the train, and Bex goes free. We're going in the exhibition shed now. A big train. Oh, there's a man hiding behind the counter, behind the thing. British Railways 8F class 48431. Oxnard exhibition shed. The Oxnard exhibition shed is the largest covered space in the area. It is used as a storage facility for locomotives and coaches. It stands on the site of Oxford Bones, the goods yard, where coal and cattle were delivered to the upper part of the valleys. Nice. Up close and personal with a steam engine. Oops. She's dragging your Bex. So when we are sat on the coach, like, my feet have been there from the floor. Do you want me to take her because she wants to be with me? Manchester Ship Canal Locomotive 31, Hamburg. The Manchester Ship Canal Railway was the largest private railway in the UK. It had over 33 miles of mainline track alongside most of the canal, some of which was double track. There were 75 locomotives and 2,700 wagons. It served all the canals, docks and the traffic park estate, as well as linking the canal to the main line routes. 31 is a short tank locomotive built by Unswell Clark in Leeds in 1903. She is a standard design, and many like her were sold for longer distance industrial work. Others were sold to collieries and industrial plants, whilst 3 very similar machines worked all the traffic on the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway. So that's inside 4831. I don't know if you can see up there. And this is the little tug one. War Department Austerity Saddle Tank 118, formerly 71505, Brussels. In 1942, the War Department decided to begin stockpiling railway equipment ready for the invasion of Europe. Originally, it was intended to use the LMS 3F tank locomotive. The LMS 3F tank locomotive design was originally intended to be the standard design, but the need to build quickly and economize on manpower led to the Untitled Engine Company of Lee's standard 18-inch cylinder industrial shunter becoming the basic design, which dates back to 1923. By 1951, a total of 392 had been built. The National Coal Board bought a further 77 between 1948 and 1964, and 8 were built in 1954 for use in the iron and steel industries. Four 7279. The Vulcan Foundry in Newton the Willows, not far from us, about 25 miles down near Warrington. I used to have a friend who lived quite near the place. The Railway Children, Great Western Railway Pioneer Tank 5775, built in 1929. She spent her entire life on southwest and south Wales. Built in 1929, she spent her entire life in south and southwest Wales before being sold to London Transport in 1963. Here she worked hauling engineers' trains on the District Metropolitan Circle lines, mostly at night. When the power was off, she was bought for the Keighley Worth Valley Railway in 1970 and used as the old gentleman's engine in the film The Railway Children. And those of you who thought a pug was a dog, this is the pug. Built in 1901 for the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, weighs 21.25 tons. This is inside the Railway Children's engine. British Railways, formerly LMS and Lancashire and Yorkshire Railways, Pug class number 5121. Virtually all railways had, and these still have, a need for small locomotives that could virtually go and virtually anywhere. Virtually all railways had, and indeed still have, a need for locomotives that could virtually go anywhere that a wagon could go. This is the standard design for the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway for this job. It was a dock confined space goods yard or an engine shed that needed a shunter. The likelihood was that L&Y would provide one of these Class 21 locomotives. 57 were built between 1891 and 1910, and this example being built at Horwich Works in 1901, where she became L&Y number 68. Not Sharon looking at. British Standard Class 4 Tank 80002. In 1948, British Railways decided to create 12 new standard designs that would encompass all of its requirements. 999 of these machines were built in BR's own workshop. Whether they were needed unquestionable. BR also built over 1,000 locomotives to pre-nationalised company designs. 80002 is a direct design descendant from the largest passenger tank locomotives of the London, Midland and Scottish Railway. Built at Brighton in 1952, she went to Scotland initially to Motherwell. She soon went to Palmady, where she worked on the Glasgow suburban network. In 1962, she went to Beatop, where she assisted trains up the famous Beatop Bank. Withdrawn in 1967, she was returned to Heat Coaches in Glasgow and bought by Keighley Worth Valley Railway in 1969. And this here is a very posh thing, and it's not telling me what it is. Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. It's not giving me any information on it. Yeah, built in 1952, Derby. Watch you not fall down the old Bex. That's a posh door. And it looks like a posh carriage. Lavatory. Doesn't look like a lavatory to me. This carriage is called Mary, and she's a Pullman coach. Unfortunately, she's in darkness. What we can see in there. Be a surprise for me when we find out as well, because I can't see either. Just saying, I don't know what's in there. I'll just put the camera up, but I can't see. Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway Trust Coach 279. Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway main line ran from Preston, Liverpool and Manchester, uniting at Todmorden down the Calder Valley to Wakefield, where it divided to reach Hull and York. The train comprises of 4 coaches from the former Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, providing excellent examples for the mid-Victorian era onwards. 279 6-wheel 4-compartment first class coach, probably built in Newton Heath, Carriage Works, Manchester in 1980. 279 of these very early example, and is shorter than most of the 6-wheelers. It was withdrawn from service around 1910. I'm back on the train from the film. And yeah, that's what these carriages look like inside. Great Western's Railway Tank 5775. The GWI employed well over 1,000 of this type of locomotive. They were used for shunting to assist larger locomotives on steep hills and for local goods and passenger trains. They were used across the entire system, which stretched from Manchester and Birkenhead to the west of Wales, London, Penzance and most places in between. The large water tanks carried high up, slung up across the boiler, are known as panniers. This style of construction gives easy access to the motion and cylinders under the boiler that drives the locomotive. Car. Lancashire Yorkshire Railway Club Carriage 47. In 1912, the L&Y built this coach for the use of businessmen who were regular passengers between Blackpool and Manchester. The first coach for the club had been modified from a standard coach in 1894, and this coach 47, its replacement was to remain in use until LMS provided another 1930s part of the Coronation Scott project. Two 1 6 6 1. LMER. The Old Gentleman's Carriage, North Eastern Bogie Saloon. The scene of the old gentleman waving from the window of his plush carriage in the Railway Children in 1970 made a star of this saloon. Its film was not dissimilar to its original purpose, built in 1971 for Mr. Edward Fletcher, locomotive superintendent on the North Eastern Railway. The saloon carried railway officials on the inspection tours, all by its regular locomotive, ever light on display in the Great Hall. It was used by several successive locomotive superintendents and chief mechanical engineers, including Sir Vincent Raven and Sir Nigel Chrysler. End of the line. We'll walk up that ramp with Bex. Come on. Up you come.
Yeah, I know. And when it's 50, you've got 50% chance of it not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not very keen on driving in sort of like hail and snow.
Yeah.
Are you waiting to go? You're a bit hot, aren't you? It's a bit warm on this train, isn't it, look? It's a bit warm on this train. We got the window wide open. I think the window on the door's open. I know, I've got a question. And if anybody can answer it, I'll be very grateful. I ain't going to be giving a price for it because I don't know the answer, so you could be telling me pokies. But down there on that sign there, on that white pole, it says FP. Now I can't make my mind up whether it means footplate, furthest point, or something else. If you know, why not comment below?
Yeah, well, I need it, God.
Well, that was a nice ride on the train, wasn't it, Shaz? Still not talking, are you, Shaz? What is it, 72 days now? Something like that, so... when she does try talking, that's what happens. So, we had our nice ride on the train, and now we're going to try and find something to eat, and we'll just call that the end of the video now, I think, for today. So if you've liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't done already, if you could subscribe, that would be wonderful. It does help our channel grow. And if you do subscribe, remember to hit the notification icon. That way you get notified when we put out another video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.